I'm going to press record. So here we are. So,
okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know what leadership is, you basically have to be a 2-star qualifying, and I think for 6 weeks. So put it on your board. Put that on your vision board. I think as I was sitting there, there were 250 coaches there, roughly, and I think they said about 275 to 300 were invited. And I was thinking of like 20 people on our team that could be there. And it's just an amazing experience. There's something that happens if you've been to those live. Can you hear me?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. There's something that happens when you go to live events. It truly is like a switch is flipped. And so we're in this room, 250 coaches, and we went to about 14 different sessions. So it was a ton of content. Corporate guys presented, Michael Neiman presented, Jeff Hill, Doug Moss, Kim Carver presented. His story was amazing because they all shared, they're not coaches, right? So they all shared something inspirational. And most of them are challengers. And it was really cool to hear their stories and hear it from that challenger perspective. Darren O'Lean spoke all about Shakeology. I'm probably going to do a YouTube video on that for you guys to share with your groups because that was amazing. But a lot of what we've heard, I heard before. It's true when they say there's no secret sauce. There's no magic pill that you take to get to leadership or to be elite or to be a top 10. They preached on some major themes. So out of my 20 pages of notes, I'm trying to pull these themes. And one theme is the 4 vitals. I mean, these coaches do them every single day. They don't miss a day. If they're sick, they don't miss a day. If they, if there's a family emergency, or if there is, something tragic that happens in their life, or, like a divorce, or, kids get sick, or they just don't miss a day. And a lot of them stressed that the reason they don't miss is because of their personal development. Like they have found a way to take Beachbody and use it during times of struggle to actually help them through those times. And I don't know if that has happened to any of you, if you've been struggling with something. I know for me, the personal development has been huge. And it's really gotten me through some hard times. So they're consistent. They're consistent. The other theme that was really mentioned a lot was the idea of team. It's not about you. And I know that we want to, we each have personal goals and you want to advance rank. And it's good to have all of those goals, but it's really the idea of setting the bar high, throwing out limiting beliefs. What you get is completely aligned with what you put into the business. So if you're going to treat it like a hobby, you're going to get a hobby paycheck. If you're going to treat the business, if you're going to take months off and you're just starting especially, then you're not going to see a whole lot of growth. If you're going to treat it like a business, then you're going to grow it like a business. But this idea of teamwork and that it's not just you was a huge theme. And I heard it today on a call I listened to in this Dash to Diamond group. I don't know how many of you are in that group, but Sarah, yeah, I think a lot of you are. If you listen to that call, he could have spoke at the National Leader Conference, because Keith Callahan could have spoke, because in fact he should. Because the whole idea of getting over yourself so that you can help your team was a common thread. But in order to do that, you have to step up as a leader. And that was huge for me. Like, I walked into this National Leader Conference, I'm going to be honest with you, thinking I should not be here. That's what I was thinking. I walk into this room and they have all these elite coaches, all these premier coaches. The coaches that spoke were, of course, Melanie Mitro, the #1 coach. She's amazing to listen to. Micah Folsom spoke. She's unbelievable. They all cry on stage too. They put their heart and soul into it. And Ashley Smith spoke. She's a top 10 coach. But I walked in there thinking, I don't even know why I'm here, because you have to be 2-star. And I did hit 2-star, but I lost it. I'm a diamond rank right now. And so I'm sitting in that room and I'm like, I'm just a diamond rank. What am I doing here? And it's that whole idea of viewing yourself as a leader. So if you are going to help your team, you've got to get over the fact that you really have to believe that you are a leader, and you have to put yourself into that role. And that personal development helps with that too. So it can't just be you, it has to be your team. And how do you build your team? Well, you have to be transparent with them. Melanie Mitro talked about how she shares her mission statement with her team. They all know it. They know her mission. They know her goals. And then I'll get to her in a little bit too, because she had a great session just on time management. This was an aha moment for me. So I don't know if you need to write this down or if anyone's done this, but when you're building your team and you're being transparent, you need to know that as a leader, your coaches will most likely do half of what you do. And that's not in every case, but they said a lot of cases. So if you're hitting Success Club 10, you can expect your coaches to hit 5. If you want your coaches to hit Success Club 10, then you better be hitting 20, or that should be your goal. So it was the idea of no matter what you are putting in, can you hear my dog barking? Sorry. No matter what you're putting in, your coaches are going to do half of that. But this is the aha moment. Just a second. Peter, come here. Come here. Stop barking. Don't you know I'm on a call? I can be a little intense with my coaches and my challengers, especially brand new ones. And I heard this and it resonated with me. Oftentimes, like this Dash to Diamond group, I cannot fathom why my coaches don't want to be in this. It makes no sense to me. Like, it's an opportunity of a lifetime to build your business. So that's me. But I have several coaches who, some are probably on this call, that aren't in it. But it's the idea of, as a leader, you have to find out what your coaches want, not what you think they need. And that was an eye-opener for me, because I think oftentimes what I think they need isn't what they want. I have coaches who are content with Emerald. You know, they maybe want to go Diamond someday, but there's no rush right now. They've got other things going on. So I have to take a step back and remember that I need to support them wherever they're at in their journey, and not try to push what I think they need on them. And part of it is you're passionate, right? You see their potential and you know what they're capable of. So that was eye-opening to me. And then another big thing was, be the coach you want in your downline. Be that coach. If you are a coach that is connecting with them, if you want a coach who's engaging, if you want a coach who's going to be part of these groups and run challenge groups, then you need to be that. You need to be that coach and lead by example. So that teamwork was huge. On the call today, if you didn't listen to it yet, this is why I thought Keith Callahan could have spoke. His one line of, and this was not at the National Leader Conference, but it goes right along with this theme. You need to, oh gosh, what did he say? Be a leader of leaders. So the whole idea that you need to be a leader of leaders, not a leader of followers. And you do that by leading by example, and then you let them go. Like, your goal is to have them build their own business so that it can run without you. And that idea of, if you stepped away and something tragic happened in your life and you stepped away, would your business still survive? So he mentioned that today, and I really liked that. We had Ashley Smith spoke. This is really cool. She last year was a participant. She sat in the crowd at the conference. This year, and she's a teacher. This year, she was a top 10 coach. So she was sitting in our seat last year, and in the course of a year, she was a top 10 coach. So we're like, what did you do? How did you get to be a top 10 coach? And her big idea, her whole topic was on what a difference a year makes. She completely becomes transparent and intertwines Beachbody, weaves it into every post. And I know we say you don't want to post on Beachbody all the time, and she doesn't even use the words Beachbody, but she will, let's say she's at her daughter's school. She'll say, I'm so glad I have the opportunity to now stay at home and volunteer at my daughter's school. She doesn't mention Beachbody, but she's planting like all these little seeds in every single post that she does. So she went from that National Leader Conference in 2015 to being a top 10 coach, elite coach in 2016. And she said the biggest thing she did was share her journey and how Beachbody affects every single aspect of her life. And that she really puts a silver lining on everything, but she shares everything. Her mess, her struggles, the positives, but no one wants a Debbie Downer, right? You don't want someone who's complaining. No one's going to want to follow you or become a challenger or a coach on your team if you're doing all this complaining. But her idea of that Beachbody has the power to mend wounds and to be a catalyst for healing. And that's how she uses it. And she just got a huge following. And her other thing that she said was that she really comes from a place of coaching as a gift. And that helped me, because I still hesitate to invite to the coaching opportunity. I still hesitate to invite in general, even to challenge groups. And she just said, you have to think about coaching as a gift and what has it done for you. And she keeps that in the forefront of her mind. And it would be a real waste not to share with as many people as you can and share your journey, because you really are changing lives. And that was a huge theme too. You have to be proud of coaching. No more like hiding in the closet about it. No more sitting back and being really private and secretive about it. Be proud of it. We have products that change lives. The challenge groups change lives. The coaches change lives. And what's cool is it's a whole body, it's a whole transformation. It's not just body. And I don't know how many of you have experienced that with challengers or yourself, but it truly is the mind, the soul, and it's a ripple effect into every area of a person's life. People have better marriages because of it. They're better parents because of it. They are better employees. They're better bosses. So it's the idea of be proud of what you're doing, because you are changing lives and you're offering a gift. And if someone turns you down and says no, you stick with it. You still follow up. And well, you've all heard that no is just a not yet. So all of these things I think we've heard before. The other thing she said is that she really, in the last year, the Leader Conference was a game changer for her, because she really, after that, viewed herself as a leader. And she started to focus her time and energy. It was laser-like focus. So it was the idea of being busy versus productive. And that was eye-opening for me too, because I tend to be really busy, like 2 hours will go by. I'll be like, what did I do? I don't think I've sent out one invite. I've been scrolling, or I've been, I've been doing busy work like a calendar or a schedule. And she said she really put energy into being productive and doing those income producing activities. If you've read Get Over Your Damn Self, they talk about it in that. What are you going to get, where are you going to get the most bang for your buck? So she was a great speaker too. And she talked a lot about goal setting, and having her goals are not personal goals. They are about team goals, and that she really works with her team on their goals. And that's been a catalyst for her personal business. So do you guys have any questions so far? Am I going too fast? We good? Oh, there's a chat. I'm not looking at the chat. Oh, you are, Ellie. Melissa, what did you write down? Is Missy Wardy still on?
Yeah, I'm here.
What did you write down?
The same thing that you wrote down from the mastermind call.
Oh,
from the
yeah.
Diamond. Very, very true.
It's so true. 2 books you might want to write down for leadership also. One, and I don't have the authors. One is, the title is It's Not About You. And the other is called Relentless. Because looking at these top coaches, that's the other thing they have in common. They know they will not quit. Like, they are just relentless. And a lot of these coaches drop rank and they earn it back. And they have team members and coaches that drop rank and earn it back, or coaches that quit, and that's just part of the business. But they are relentless and they do not quit, and they have a lot of grit. Micah Folson did talk about too how she really, I liked this, she tries to touch base with 5 coaches a day, 5 of her personally sponsored coaches. And obviously she has a lot of coaches. So she rotates through, but I really liked that idea. Even if you touched base with 1 coach a day, or maybe you don't have any coaches yet, make them challengers. Touch base with 3 to 5 challengers a day, and it really keeps you connected, and you keep a pulse on your team, and you keep a pulse on their energy level. I know that I've had coaches, I've gotten an email where a coach is just up and quit, and I had no clue it was coming. Well, that's my bad, because it's usually a coach I haven't touched base with. So that might be, going to their like page, because I know I have a lot of coaches with like pages and I don't get all those notifications. So it might be going to their like page and commenting. It might be recognizing them on, your newsfeed or your fitness page. It might be private messaging them or calling them and just checking in. She said that was important to her because she had a coach who reached out to her who was really ill for about 6 months. And this coach said to her, I love our team, but when I got sick, not one person reached out. And I felt really isolated. Not one, and I wasn't in a position to share. I wasn't healthy enough to even go on our team page, but not one person called me. Not one person messaged me. Not one coach visited. And that to me is not a team. So she heard this coach telling her that, and that's when she made that change. And she wants to know her coach's business goals, but personal goals. She wants to know about their family life. So the idea of building that team community was really important to these top coaches too. And it makes sense. I mean, we are in the business of people. We're here for people. At least that's how I view it. And that's what's great about our business. We're not like selling wine. We're not selling, wine is good, don't get me wrong. But I think about, we could be, Carl talked about this in his video, we could be selling makeup, we could be selling wine, we could be selling, soap or cheese or whatever, but we sell health and fitness, and we sell confidence, and we sell something that truly changes people's lives. And we sell an opportunity that can change the life of a family. So it was just really, I loved that idea of having that team atmosphere. Do you guys want to hear about Melanie? I don't know how much time I have, but she was awesome too. She was probably obviously one of the best speakers. So,
We have about 20 minutes, so we're good.
oh, we're good. Okay.
Yeah.
So Melanie talked about, she had two different topics. And I will share with you, I don't even know how to share my screen, to be honest with you. I've never done that, but I can show you my calendar. I just click share screen. That's what I do. Okay. She talked about her monthly marketing plan. And this is what she does every month. She said, sometimes as coaches, we try to wing it. Like, okay, I'm just going to message 5 people. I don't care who they are, but that's who I'm going to message. Or we wing a free group, and I know I'm still kind of in that mode. She says to create success, you have to have a plan. So she does something every month. She'll sit down. So it's March. She'll begin in another week. She'll begin to think about April. And her first Monday of every single month is a Coach Basics. The first Monday she calls it Coach University. She does that the first Monday of every month. And she keeps running those continuous, adding new coaches for her downline. She also does, let me get my other notes here. Sorry, I'm looking at I have like 3 pages of notes in different areas. She does a free group every second Monday. So like the 13th of March, she would do a free group. She does it every month. She does some type of free group. And then she runs her challenge groups on the 3rd Monday of every month. You don't have to do it that way, but the idea is that you are planning. So you're planning ahead. And then she will think about a couple of things. She'll brainstorm current trends. Okay, so we have Lent. You could write that down as a trend. Spring break is coming up. Summer's coming up. She'll look at holidays, Easter, Christmas, New Year. She will look at all of the current trends that are happening. She'll look at tax season. She thinks of everything that's happening in people's lives. So tax season is important because people don't usually spend as much. So she's really going to target her free group. She's really going to think about what she wants to do for her free group. And then she'll brainstorm that list, and then she makes a list of all of her ideas on what she could do for that next month. She thinks about travel and if people will be traveling at that time of year too. And then she writes down any obstacles that her or her coaches might be facing. So tax season could be an obstacle. The presidential election was an obstacle. People were so wrapped up into that, and they're worried about finances. And so when she's done with all that, then she will plan her groups. So it's a free group, a challenge group, and then her Coach University is what she does. And I can share with you, maybe I'll post it in All Stars, a picture of her calendar. This is where because I'm like, okay, I do that. I do free groups. I don't do them monthly. I need to do those monthly. But then this is where I fail, okay? And this is what she does, and this is what I do not do. She does her call to action 7 to 10 days before every single group, and she jabs them every single day. So if she has a free group starting on March 13th, she'll go back 10 days, 7 to 10 days, and she will plug it every day. She will jab that free group. Now, I would maybe do a call to action once or twice. She does it every day. And she's like, it's not too much. It's not too much to do that, because you have people who aren't on social media every single day. You have people who are just thinking about it. And then that's a reminder the next day. She does the same for her Coach University. She'll go back 7 to 10 days before it starts, and she will do a call to action on something that's saying, join my team. And then she usually has some type of theme around it. So she might post how coaching has paid for something, or she might coach how it's given, or she might post about how it's given her some type of freedom of time. So she'll have 7 to 10 posts saying, join my team, leading up to that. And then she does the same for her challenge groups. And that was eye-opening to me. But she said the big thing that many of her coaches miss, and when she sees these other coaches, is that they don't have a call to action. They don't have any language that says, join my team, I have 5 spots available, or join my challenge group. And she uses those words, join. That's what she puts on almost everything. You can't say, or you could, but it's not effective to say, message me, because they're not going to message you, or it's rare if they do. So you can say that, but you also need to have some type of call to action, and then put a number with it. I have 5 spots available. I have 3 spots available. So that's something that's missing, that I'm working on, that's missing in my business, that I know that I'm working on. Do you want me to show you my calendar? Oh, what do you have about questions about that? About her free groups, or her challenge groups, or Coach Basics? Coach Basics, Coach University is what she calls it. None? Okay. Maybe I'll try to share my screen. Then the other thing she talked about is her scheduling. She is so focused, and she turns off all her notifications. Does anyone do that when they're working? Yeah, I do it sometimes, but I'm not consistent. And she sets a timer. She sets a timer for everything. So her timer she might have 20 minutes. She's checking in with challengers and groups. When that timer goes off, she will either say 5 more minutes or she's done. And in that, if she says 5 more minutes, that's it. 5 more minutes and she's done. She moves on to the next task. And then she might have 20 minutes where she's checking her messages. And then she might have 20 minutes where she's doing her invites. And obviously she does this full time, so she has times throughout the day. Her biggest thing was that you are only spending 10% of your time with 10 to 20% of your time with your team. So your training calls, your Coach Basics, that cannot eat into all of your time. You have to be growing your business. So 10 to 20% of her time is spent helping her team. 80% of her time is her business. It's working on her invites, her social media posts, her challenge groups. And then she has her set business hours too. So then the other thing she talked about was, and I liked this, she's really picky about where she puts her time and energy. So she'll have a lot of coaches message her, and obviously she has thousands of coaches in her downline. But she will have a lot of coaches message her, and she does not spend time with them all. She spends time with people who match her energy. And I liked that, because you have a lot of coaches out there who say they want this, but then they're not doing anything. So what she will do, if a coach wants her time, she'll say, okay, let's schedule a call. But let's schedule a call for next week. in that week, I want you to track your business, and I want you for a week, track it for a week. I want you to do 3 to 5 posts a day, and I want you to track your invites and how much time you're putting into your business, and then we'll talk. And then she says, then we'll have something to talk about. And I'm going to check to see if you're posting 3 to 5 times a day. And then that coach is forced to do a little bit of work to earn her time, which made sense if you have, you know, a team that large. I just give attention to all my coaches right now if they need it, because I don't have that many. I don't have as many, obviously, as her, but I like that. Spend time with people who are matching your energy. And then she always asks them, tell me your biggest obstacle. So she'll usually lead with that question, or it's in a first conversation. You know, like a Coach Basics is starting. So in our Team All-Stars, that would be a question that we could ask everyone. What is your biggest obstacle? And then when you address those and you help them overcome those, then they're going to naturally start to advance their business. So I like that too. Here's what she does. She said that, and this was me, when she started out coaching, she was constantly on her phone. Never put it away. Her and her husband would be watching TV. Her phone would ding, she'd pull it out. They would have dinner. Her phone or computer would ding, she'd go to it. Because she didn't want to miss anything. She didn't want to miss a challenge pack sale. She didn't want to miss a coach. And she said her husband finally sat her down and said, it's Beachbody or us. You've got to choose. And so they came up with business hours, and I'm doing this now. I've always used a Google Calendar, but she plans out everything. So I'm going to try to share my screen here. Do I just click share screen, Sarah? Is that all?
Yep, click share screen, and then you'll click on the screen you want. There you go.
See it? Okay. I use Google Calendar. So she schedules out everything, and then she will make a list for her business hours. Like you could make a list of everything you want to get done for that day, and then your top 3 priorities are what you do first. So, you know, here's my calendar. Well, Tuesday, some of these are done, but wake up, energize, PD, that's 4:30. 5 to 6, I work out, I get my shower, I get ready for school. 6 to 7, now my calendar changes every other week, but 6 to 7 is my personal business time. So that's a business hour for me. And then I have a separate list on what I want to accomplish. I rank my top 3, and I do those first. And this has really helped me from, you know, screwing around and wasting time. So I'll do those top 3 first, and then I can move on to the secondary items. And the rest of my day, teaching is always me. These are me. 12:15 to 12:30. I know it's only 15 minutes, but it's personal business time. Because that's my lunch. I work through my lunch every day. I'm Beachbody every day. So then this is what I really liked. All of my yellow is family time. And she said her and her husband decided this. When it's family time, her phone is put away. There's no phone. There's no computer. So I know, like Wednesday, I'm going to have my kids. It's my midweek visit from 4 to 8. I will not pull my phone out. I'll put it in a drawer. And I'm actually more productive. And I don't know if it's because I'm able to unplug for that time. And then when I do go back, 8 to 10 will be my business hours. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock because I've had some time to unplug. So this is why Google, I'm going to use it. Oh, that worked. I did it. I learned something new. But my ex and I have a Google Calendar where we put everything on it. All the kids' events, we share it. their doctor's appointments, their practices. So you can then take your calendar and share it with your spouse, because I don't have to worry about this, but she said there were times that he would walk in the door and she would say, I have a team call. You have to watch the kids and get dinner. And then he's all pissed off because he wasn't expecting it. But here with the Google Calendar, you share it. He has all of her business meetings and calls and hours, and she has all of his stuff, and they just have more quality family time. So I liked that piece of it. I know we have a lot of working moms and dads on our team, and for me anyway, business was getting in the way of family time. Even like I would go to my parents. I went to my parents one day and the whole family was there, and I had my computer out for 2 hours. It was not good. And I know they got pissed about it, and they should have. Now I draw the line, and I still put the time in. I'm more productive, I think, because I'm unplugging, and my kids are on board. That was the one thing when I sat down with my kids and I said, I have meetings with my children once a month about the business. And I ask them, how do you think it's going? Because I work a lot. And how do you think it's going? And when a couple months ago, when I sat down with them, that was their one request, that I put my phone away. And so now I do. And I just think it's helped our whole family atmosphere. And I'm more mindful. I'm more mindful and more present now than I've ever been. And I'm able to still grow the business. And I think I'm just more productive with it because I'm more focused during that hour time. I still, don't get me wrong, I still have a lot of work to do. But it really does help to unplug. I was never unplugging. And when I don't have the kids, I wake up at 4:30 and it's on my mind, like I'm ready to go. But when I have them, it's really good time, quality time with them now. So that was just one of her main tips on how to balance that family life. And I don't have a spouse, but if I did, I have to believe he would get frustrated with my hours and what I was doing. And really, I think he would get frustrated with that lack of communication piece. So this might be a way to solve that. It might help, it might not. I don't know. It's already helped me just every Sunday. And Sarah Boldman told me this months ago, that every Sunday she sits down and she goes through her week and she plans her week out. And that has really helped me, just taking that hour on Sunday morning. I still wake up at 4:30 or 5 on a Sunday morning, and I like it. It's quiet. I have my coffee, and I sit down and I look at my week, and I can think of, and now I'm starting to plan out the business too and what groups I want to run.
Hey, Sarah, just so you know, there's like probably 20 seconds left, 30 seconds left.
Oh, sorry.
Just so you know, if we get cut off, that's why.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to be done then. There's a lot more, but get to leadership, you guys. And if you can go to Summit, get to Summit. And our next Super Saturday is April 8th. I've already